Okay, this is number 22 on your review. The problem is x cubed minus 3x squared minus x plus 3, and it wants to know where is this greater than or equal to 0. And then the directions, if you read them, it says, solve the following polynomial inequalities, use your graphing calculator, and a sign chart. So our sign chart, we're going to require a number line. And it says to use my graphing calculator, so I'm going to get out my graphing calculator. And if I go to the y equals screen, by pressing my y equals button right here, then I'm going to type in my equation x cubed minus 3x squared minus x plus 3, and then I'm going to hit this button over here on the right that says graph. When I hit that graph button, something like this is going to come up. And so a sign chart is telling me what is going on the graph. Where is this thing above? Where is it greater than 0? And where is it less than 0? Where 0 is representing our x-axis. So this flat line, our x-axis, right along here, that's our 0. Anything above it would be greater than 0. Anything below it would be less than 0. And then anything on the line is equal to 0. So if I look at these values on my calculator, you can see I'm crossing right here at -1, right here at +1, and right here at 3. If you don't know exactly where it's crossing, you can always press second trace. Here's the trace button, second's a little bit lower, and calculate the zeros that way. But for right now, since I can see where they're crossing, I'm going to put those values on my sign chart. First I'm going to put a dot there at -1. And then here's 0. I don't really need 0 on my chart, but it's always good to know what's going on there. Then I have another dot. So I have a dot at 1. I have another dot there at -1. Or sorry, at +1. And then I have a third dot over here at 3. And that's where things are changing. If I look at my graph, I can see, okay, right here, I'm below my x-axis. So from this interval on my graph right here, I would say that interval is negative because I'm below the line on my graph. If I look to my next little interval from -1 to +1, look right there, I'm above the graph. I'm positive, so in this chunk right here I'm going to put a plus sign. After that, from 1 to 3, I can see what I'm drawing in red right now. I went below the line again, so I'm negative. And then finally, after 3, I stay positive the whole time. So I'm going to put a plus sign here. And that's my sign chart. So now I've made the sign chart, and it's asking me, okay, that's the whole thing, but all they want to know is where your graph, because this equation represents my graph, where is your graph either greater than 0, so numbers greater than 0 would be positive, or where is it equal to 0? So here in this interval and here in this interval. Since it also says equal to 0, we usually draw this graphic right here. If it's asking for equal, then I put the brackets. If it's just greater than or less than, I put the parentheses. And the reason I do that is because it's asking me, do I want to include 0 in the answer or do I not? Since ours is greater than or equal to 0, we do want to include 0 in our answer. So our answer here would be from -1 to 1, because I was positive from -1 to 1 right here. And we use the little union symbol to say and. I'm positive from 3, and I'm including 3 because at 3 I'm on 0, to infinity. Infinity always goes in parentheses because I can never include something that's infinite because it goes on forever. So that is your answer for number 22 on your semester final review.